Ahoy hoy, I'm Planet Walk, and recently I saw someone say something so proudly and with such confidence, like they thought they were making themselves look smart, when in reality their statement was an utter damnation of their intelligence.
Look, sweetie, I'm sitting here and I'm able to talk for 4 hours on every subject. Guess how much research I'm doing? 0. It's literally just common sense.
Now that there is someone who goes by Emily Saves America, and I'm not sure that saves is the right word that you're looking for there. Now the podcast that she's on here, Digital Social Hour, is one that I will be coming back to in future videos due to the sheer amount of people that spew utter bollocks on it. I have seen clips from it where people talk about Bigfoot on it, where people talk about some intergalactic alien federation on it. It just sometimes takes a while to find the particular videos those clips are from. But anyway, this Emily person, what's her deal? Surely there's a reason why she would say that she does no research. Well, she had a debate with someone called Dean Withers.
So I don't do debates.
Oh, my bad. Maybe we'll use the word argument then?
But I don't do debates because I'm correct.
The problem with that line of thinking is that everybody thinks that they are correct. No matter what side of an issue you are on, you will think that you are right. What you need is justification for why you are right.
But I don't do debates because I'm correct. And you can sit here and pull statistics and data from Google funded by the Biden administration, but that doesn't make you correct.
Well, then what does make you correct? Your feelings? But look, something that I've noticed that every conspiracy theorist tries to do is they try to dismiss statistics, data, by saying you can't trust where it came from. Like, if you ask a flat earther, what do you think of this evidence? Oftentimes they will dismiss it based on the source. Like, if it's some random YouTuber, they'll say, oh, that YouTuber is paid by NASA, or something like that. Or if it's from NASA, then they'll say, well, yeah, it's from NASA, you can't trust anything from NASA. Or if it's from JPL or ESA, they'll say, well, those are clearly connected to NASA, they're in on the conspiracy, you can't trust any of it, because everything has to do with NASA, and you can't trust NASA. You also get the exact same kind of thing when it comes to climate change deniers, vaccine skeptics, people that say that 9/11 was an inside job. They will dismiss your evidence on the basis that, oh, well, that comes from the IPCC, that comes from Big Pharma, that comes from NIST, so therefore we can just dismiss it. Even if your evidence isn't actually related to any of those organizations, they'll say, oh, well, they were paid off by those organizations or something along those lines. All it is an intellectually lazy way to not have to deal with evidence that goes against your position.
Those are not true, and I use my eyeballs and I have common sense, which is why I have a bigger platform than people like him.
Okay, I absolutely despise the term common sense because so many people use common sense to try and get out of actually needing any evidence for their position. It oftentimes just really seems to be a stand-in for this feels correct to me, so therefore it's common sense. It prioritizes people's intuitive feelings about something over the actual facts of the matter, because as it turns out, sometimes the facts of the matter may be unintuitive, or your intuitive feelings could just be wrong. That happens a lot.
Which is why I have a bigger platform than people like him, even though he does it 24/7, and I do it like 30 seconds a day and still manage to do better.
Ah yes, because it is a very well-known fact that the more correct you are, the bigger the audience you have. Nothing else matters at all. So you better all be listening to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he reminds me of those nerds in college that study the textbooks and get straight A's.
Yeah, that, by the way, no one liked. I'm like,
yeah,
no one likes you, which is a bigger issue around your politics.
I mean, to have an audience, you have to have some people that like you. What it sounds like is that you don't like him, which is okay, but you don't speak for everybody.
And he's just a grifter, which is fine. You know, get your bag.
I mean, you literally admit to doing no research, to dismissing evidence. I wouldn't call someone else a grifter if I were you.
Yeah, I just feel like, because he's 19, I feel like you need to apply some real life stuff when you're engaging in political debates.
Yeah, I said, why are you having me at 31 years old, who's had a pretty decent life experience, speak to a child who's never even been in the workforce, who's never had a job before?
Because your age doesn't determine how correct you are. I remember when I was 22, and flat earthers would dismiss me because I was too young. I didn't have the life experience that they had, but they were flat earthers. They were wrong. No matter how much life experience you may have, if you are wrong, you are wrong. Your life experience will not change that.
Like babies in high school. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
College, whatever. I'm sure he's getting his like gender degree.
Ah yes, the classic gender degree, because everyone knows that there are no other politics in college or university.
I'm like, I can't.
He's teaching courses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. He's like a wannabe like Andrew Tate trying to. It's funny. Everything he does happens to be a level of grifting.
Yeah, I'd say that that is pretty bad. But that doesn't change who's right and who's wrong.
You've been blowing up, though. I saw you on Piers Morgan, too.
Yeah. And then Elon retweeted me.
Whoa.
Which,
You know, I'm just going to put it out there. If Elon retweets you in a positive light, that does not add to your credibility at all.
I was saying that Trump is significantly more for women's rights.
Well, that's just not true at all. Who was the person who took credit for overturning Roe v. Wade, which has restricted abortion access in many states? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't Biden. Trump also cut USAID, which had programs for helping women around the world. Cutting those doesn't help women in any way. He has also been actively trying to stop the release of the Epstein files. I don't think I need to explain that one to you. You see, those are actual things that happened, rather than you just simply feeling like he's better because, well, that's what you want to believe.
I think because women are in so much danger under this administration, I think women tend to care more about also the trafficking of children.
Oh, and how's that one going for you, huh? Now, to be fair, that video was made when Biden was president, so I do have the benefit of hindsight. But still, some of the things that I said were known at the time.
Yeah.
And we are smart enough to know that none of our rights were taken away, and they're not going to be taken away.
But they were. Roe v. Wade was overturned before you recorded that, and Trump took credit for it.
When you say women are feeling in danger, is that physically?
Yeah, physically, of course. Yeah, like obviously we have a very corrupt district attorney right now, which we're trying to get out, and women are just being assaulted on the street. It's really scary, genuinely.
Yeah.
If you're Blue Cities, like, it's scary. I bought something nice the other day. I had them watch me. I ran to my car, like the speed of light, because I just knew. I was like, people are probably waiting to just take my stuff and punch me in the face.
That's
So
insane.
I was like, here we are.
Every time I go to LA, I feel like so on edge.
Now, that would be the perfect thing, to have some kind of statistics or data to help back up your point. Because without that, it's just you feeling a certain way. And I've been around enough people to know that some people's feelings aren't exactly indicative of reality. In fact, there's a lot of people that have this idea that the world is so violent now and we need to do something about it, when if you actually look at violent crime and stuff like that, it has been trending downward since the 90s in most places. This is also true of places like LA, for example. The violent crime in LA has been decreasing since the 90s. Now, I'm not saying that more can't be done to address crime, of course it can, but what I am saying is that a lot of people's fears about how, oh, places like LA are so violent and I'm so scared there, they are generally not based in the facts of the matter. They are generally more based around people just hearing stories that are meant to scare them, because that is what gets clicks.
Yeah, every young left-wing social media person, which is funny, they get shot to the top of the algorithm because they seem smart. They're really not.
You know, I find it really funny how a lot of right-wingers will seem to imply that algorithms like YouTube's algorithm has a bias towards the left and not towards the right. Now, I can tell you that, at least from my perspective, YouTube does not appear to have a bias towards left-wing content, because I can go to YouTube Studio and go to the videos to inspire you section, and it often has people like Tim Pool, Steven Crowder, The Quartering, maybe a bit of Hank Green. And I am someone who is fairly left-wing, so if YouTube did have a left-wing bias, then it should mostly be left-wing people under the videos to inspire you, or at least more Hank Green. But it's not. Now, I'm not saying that YouTube has a right-wing bias. I think that there are some reasons why there might be more right-wing content in that section, primarily because right-wingers tend to push out more content. But what I am saying is that there does not appear to be a left-wing bias on YouTube. Now, if you want to talk about other platforms like, let's say, TikTok, then maybe there is a bias there. I don't know, I don't really use TikTok.
I was like, look, sweetie, I'm sitting here and I'm able to talk for 4 hours on every subject. Guess how much research I'm doing? 0. It's literally just common sense.
And that is not a good thing. That means that you are relying on your feelings to make an argument rather than actual data. your feelings can be completely detached from reality.
You know, and it's different because like when we have to do research, it's actually really hard to find unbiased research to prove our points.
Okay, maybe, just maybe, that's because you're wrong. It really just seems like you've made up your mind and will only accept evidence that agrees with you rather than looking for evidence to make up your mind. And I mean, if you want to be wrong about things, that is a good way to do it. Just acknowledge that you're probably wrong about things.
That's why I try to go off of just common sense of living every day and going through life.
Which again is a good way to be wrong. I mean, sure, sometimes what you consider to be common sense may happen to line up with reality occasionally. But unless you've actually gone ahead and checked things like data and evidence, then there's a good chance that you are wrong about stuff. And her attitude there really does seem to be at the heart of a lot of conspiratorial thinking. Just dismiss evidence because it doesn't agree with you. All the evidence that disagrees, that's biased. And what's really sad is it seems that kind of thinking has made its way into power, especially with the current US administration and RFK Jr. Like for example, there are a few small studies which appear to show a link between paracetamol and autism. But there are better studies that appear to show no link. Does RFK go with the studies that appear to show no link that are really good, or with the ones that show a link? He goes with the ones that show a link rather than the ones that don't because it just suits his narrative. It's what he wants to believe. Anyway, I'm going to leave this video here, so leave a like and subscribe if you like this video. I'm sure there'll be a few people who will disagree with stuff that I've said in the comments, but if you disagree with stuff that I've said, then make sure you actually have evidence for your position. But you can still leave a comment if you agree with me, so I do advise doing that. But I will see you in the next video. Between you and me, thank you for watching.